Chris, this is the first time on this podcast that you have addressed this, and you've talked about it with Mike Florio on Pro Football Talk. Damar Hamlin, it was, for me, it was like for all of us, like watching a real life horror movie happen out in real time on TV. Horrific, positive progress being made for Damar Hamlin. It seems like that is what has been reported by his family. They said, quote, progress appears to be made. So what are your thoughts here? We're obviously 2 days removed from all witnessing it on Monday Night Football. As we sit here right now, just what's top of mind?
It's crushing. It feels like you're in mourning. I mean, that's what I feel like still. I'm going to do. It's like mourning for the human being, Damar Hamlin, and hope he makes it. A little bit mourning because of like, oh, man, this messes up the mojo of football a little bit and gives it, a few more people some negative connotations to put around it. As an ex-player, putting myself, in the shoes of other players in their locker room. I mean, there's just so many emotions. Knowing coaches and people up there in Buffalo, so there's those personal connections. I think it's just we never like to see anybody get hurt. We never like to see anybody get, a devastating injury. We're all like, oh, gosh, his neck, his head. Mm-hmm. I mean, this went to another stratosphere. What? Dead on the field, heart aren't beating, like, and then I think what adds to it is the grandiosity of the game of the year, right? So it made it even more game of the year and started off with like fireworks where you're like, oh, it's Burrow and Allen, and oh my gosh, Burrow looks good, and this game looks like it's going to be awesome, and then like what? So it just was a huge blow to the soul, to the heart, and I feel for them. I'm glad the game was called, and it's going to be hard for Buffalo to bounce back and kind of refocus here. They're the team that I look at more than any that's certainly got the biggest obstacle to overcome. I know Cincinnati has some of that, but at least it's not their player or somebody they know personally for the most part. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it doesn't hit home quite the same. But just a crushing moment overall, and it's scary when you get into those conversations of death because of sports. It's always scary.
Well, that's why I think a lot of us, and for me, it was just you get to that point where you're like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, is it worth it? It's certainly not worth death, right? I mean, we would all say that, but. No.
Yeah, but I've been there.
I was going to say that thousands of men are going to make the decision to play this weekend. They're going to play next weekend. They're going to play for endless weekends in the future, which I think speaks to what this sport brings to individuals. Right. The opportunities, the positive things this sport brings, and so kind of take me into the mind. I mean, you. Has anyone else lost a spleen while playing football? I mean, you're in a rare situation, and you wanted to continue to play after that.
That's right. I had a love for the game. I wanted to play that year. I mean, when I was starting to like, oh, I can work out again in December and stuff, I was like, well, maybe I'll come back for the next 2 weeks. It's what I love to do. I understand. I took the risk and the danger of playing football. And that some bad and injuries were going to come along with that. I knew that. I watched my dad get hurt a lot. Does it hit home when you go, wait, whoa, they brought my wife in to say bye to me because I lost 9 pints of blood. I mean, things like that happened to me. Yeah, it's like, holy cow, that was crazy and wow. But it doesn't supplant my love for the game or the fact that I wanted to get out there again. And to your point of like, hey, horrible things happen. We know that. But through all these hundreds of thousands of football players and hundreds of thousands of football games, it's the first time that's ever happened. It's honestly kind of amazing. It's amazing that I'm the only one that's kind of lost a spleen. I mean, and been that close to death that way. It is. It's a tough, brutal sport. But I bet you, God willing, Damar Hamlin makes it out of this. I bet you when he gets out of it, he's going to tell you I wouldn't trade anything for my moments in the football and playing the game he loved. Unfortunately, it's the negative of the sport, and this is just the unthought about negative, the unforeseen negative, where you don't let your mind really go down these wormholes. Mm-hmm. And, there's so much, we've made so much progress in the safety of the game in so many ways. Protecting the neck, that's gotten better. We're still in the infancy stages of figuring out the head stuff, but we're getting better. And now there's going to be the hit to the heart conversation that goes along with it.
Yeah, we know that's a possibility.
Yeah, now. Right. And so there's a lot of things that muddle this whole situation, and Yeah, today, like just a little while ago was the first time I felt like I was kind of coming out of like mourning a little bit and going, okay, I think it's time to push forward. And I think, we're going to continue to talk and think about him, of course, and the whole situation and everybody associated. But I know I'm wired, and I think a lot of football players are wired this way too, of like, hey, we're not going to forget. But at some point, I think sitting around in a dark room, consoling ourselves about it doesn't necessarily do as much positive as, hey, let's get out there, get going again. Let's pay tribute to this guy with, going out there and playing football this weekend and winning a game on a big stage. And then we'll have a big spotlight on us, and then we can pay more of a tribute to him. I think that would be more the mindset you would see from football players and coaches, and I think that's where it's going to go when all's said and done.
Yeah,
here.
Players back in the building.
Right.
These the weekend games are going to go on still in the NFL. And
How do you heal? Are you one of the? I said this on Floor the other day. I'm one of those that I'm sad no matter what.
Yeah.
I'd like something to take my mind off it and push forward a little bit and be able to console each other through that. Some of the camaraderie and, hey, we're on the field today and good job by this and kind of that way. At least that's how I'm wired.
For me, it's the same thing. It's pushing through and doing things that may feel uncomfortable, but I've never felt better than I do after completing something that was difficult, right? And pushing yourself through. I think avoiding those situations and of course we all need time to think and process, and so that's perfectly valid as well. But I think there's something to be said about pushing through and continuing to honor Damar and all he was trying to prove on the football field with your effort on a football field as well. I think one more thing for me is that what it shows is that there are so few things in this world now that bring millions of people together at a single moment in time, which I think is very important.
Yeah.
Football is one of those things. So it not only gives something to the individuals playing, it gives something to me and all the people who never played NFL football and never will play. It feels like we're connected to you and the players and the coaches out there. And I think people showed that with what they did with his charity, the toy drive, which has been widely publicized right now. You can see it if you're watching on YouTube. And Peacock, what are we up to now? Over $6 million that he has raised. It just kind of, for me, in the horrible tragedy, it just kind of showed how much love, passion, and connective tissue there is with everyone who either plays football, loves football as a fan, and is associated with football in any way. And I think that's really important. So for those people that say, what are we doing here? It's just a game. It's not worth life and death. That's 100% true. Yeah. But I think it brings a lot. It brings so much. And I think it showed by the charity drive.
Gosh, I mean, I think a lot of the things that I think are quality things about my humanity, myself, were built through football. So there is so many positives. And, I think it's great. We're seeing the brotherhood of the NFL, the brotherhood of football fans, the brotherhood of so what? You played high school football. I played NFL football. We still know what football is all about at its base level. Yeah. We got to play together. We got to support each other, do your job, that's how you work as a team, the camaraderie, all those aspects. Hey, everybody learns how to take a butt whipping when you play football. Damn, I mean, I just got my butt whooped all day. I got to just man up and own up to it there's so many positive things. How to get yelled at from a coach, how to work with a guy that's from a different background than you are, right? All those things are all positive, let alone to what you're saying, too, I think here is this is America's sport. I know baseball was for a long time, but we know who the king in this country is for quite some time here. And it's a part of the fabric or the DNA of America right now is football. It's our sport. We invented it here. It's what we like to watch the most. And I think that's what adds to the sadness of this, too, is it's just because it's such a dear part of our country and what we are and our traditions. I mean, come on. Thanksgiving, New Year's. I mean, they're built around football. Christmas now, right? I mean, so I think it just tells you that, and that's why everybody that's ever played football, watched football, we're all pulling for Damar Hamlin and pulling for the Bills.
Thoughts and prayers to Damar Hamlin, the Buffalo Bills, the family of Damar Hamlin. Hopefully, I've been refreshing Twitter. I'm trying to get away from Twitter, and I've just been hooked to it, trying to get updates and see how he's doing. So we will continue to do that all week long until we get the ultimate positive news that he has been released from the hospital, if and when that happens, and we hope that does here very soon.
One thing here. I don't want to see them replay this game. It's just got bad karma, bad juju all together, okay? I don't want to see it. And you want to talk about the mental health of players. What are we going to cancel the league and put these two teams back in the scene of the crime again? I don't think that's healthy for anything or anybody, and it'll feel weird to both teams this fresh off of that. Nor do I want to see, wait, we play week 18 and then they have a standalone game the next week. Let's just move on. We cancel the game. We play through win percentage. It's not fair. It stinks. It's not fair to the Ravens. Of course, it's not fair to the Bills and the Bengals. The Chiefs are going to get lucky out of this situation, definitely. Right? It's not.
There's talk of maybe playing if the Bills play the Chiefs,
yeah,
playing that at a neutral site.
I know there is some talk there if that happened in the AFC Championship game, right? You know, so I get that. You know, and what do they do? Okay, what do they do if the Chiefs lost this weekend to the Raiders, right? Do they now go, oh, well, the Bengals would have won the tiebreaker and we'll play that at a neutral site too if they play them in an AFC Championship game? Yeah. I don't know where that ends, nor do I necessarily know if I want to see somebody at home. And the other thing I'll just say is, you know, it's unfair. I get it. And I feel but like life's not fair as we're learning right here, right now. Ask Damar Hamlin and his family. It's not fair at times. And it's still, hey, yeah, it's not perfect for you, but you're still going to have a chance to go play this team and beat them and get what you want when it's all said and done anyways. And if you're the Bills, you can go, wait, we beat Kansas City in Kansas City 2 out of the last 3 times we played them. Mm-hmm. You're the Bengals, you go, we went there in the AFC Championship game already, so what? And they got 2 quarterbacks that I think are the kind of guys that are just be in the locker room going, you know what, this. We'll play them wherever we want. Let's go, guys. Let's buckle it up. I'm Joe Burrow. I'm Josh Allen. Let's go kick their ass. I don't give a shit where they play them. And boom. And so that's where I don't worry about the competitive advantage or disadvantage as much. There.
And there's going to be a level of understanding throughout the NFL.
There's
no perfect solution.
There's no perfect solution now. It's just, and that's just the way it is. So it really stinks. It's unfortunate, and it's like I said, we were at the high point of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, I was so excited. So excited. I was literally like my wife, like, come on, sit down. Who are you picking tonight in the game? You know, who are you going to take, Burrow or Josh Allen? And, I mean, stinks. Really does. Thanks for watching, homies. Hit subscribe to see all my unbuttoned videos. You get to see me, Ahmed Fareed, all the big player breakdowns, game breakdowns, player interviews, and my film analysis. So please subscribe. Chris Simms Unbuttoned. Peace out.